Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey. If you're into yarn and crochet and you want to see me do things with yarn and crochet, then come in, sit down, subscribe. I'm here every Friday with some shenanigans, and today is no exception. I'm going to shenanigan. Today, I'm going to take myself into ChatGPT. I'm going to tell it what I want, and we're going to see if it can come give me a coherent crochet pattern I can follow to make something. I've seen other people do this, and I think the idea is hilarious. So I'm gonna go in there. I was thinking about some type of top, like maybe like a bralette or like a crop situation, or maybe even like a full shirt with a little collar thing. I don't know, some type of top. I don't know. I'm not expecting a whole lot. I've seen videos of people talking about AI patterns and how they're not coherent at all. But I mean, hey, you know, maybe the engine's gotten better since then. I don't know. But what I'm going to be doing shortly is opening this app, figuring it out. I'm gonna put something in there like super specific, so I get exactly what I want or what I think it might lead me to make. Then I'm gonna go into my yarn stash, grab me some yarn. I'm not buying any yarn for this. I'm not doing it. And we're gonna sit down and we're gonna try to make this. I'm really excited. So let's get to it. Okay, so before I go into ChatGPT, I want to maybe write down some ideas of some things that I might be asking it for, just so that I have like a plan. So earlier I said that I wanted to make like, it's gonna be a top or a shirt or a bralette of some sort. Now, for my own personal information, I know it's gonna have to be most likely cotton if I'm gonna do one of these. I have cotton in I have purple, I have some in blue, I have some in white, I have some in red, black, I have some in yellow. I almost put orange, best for a different project. Now, as for what I want, I'm thinking maybe like, I mean, I guess it could be cropped. I don't really care. Maybe like some kind of mesh or something. Maybe some kind of lace detailing. I don't know. Oh, and then definitely I want to close back for sure. So I'm gonna ask for, I'm gonna start off with a bralette because that will take me the least amount of time. So say a bralette, and also it's hard to find these with a closed back. So maybe ChatGPT could fill a need that I have there. So on a bralette with a closed back with some sort of mesh detailing. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can get something out of this. I'm trying to think before I go into the app, is there anything else I might want? I don't know, really this is really what I want. So I'm not gonna keep going back and forth. I think you have an option of emailing the results to yourself. And if not, then I'll just write it down here. So let's see what we get. Okay, so I have the pattern. It's on my tablet because I was able to like copy and just send it to myself. So I haven't read through it at all. The only thing that I had to change to the original generated design was the size, because it gave me a medium and I can't fit a medium. And then I changed the weight of the yarn because it originally said DK cotton, and I said, well, can we do worsted? And it adjusted all the stitch counts and stuff for me, so that was very nice. So I also cut some steps out for you. I went and I got my yarn already. I'm using, I love this cotton, the Hobby Lobby brand, in the color 252 purple, just regular purple, I guess. I got 2 skeins of it out of my yarn stash. It says that you need between 300 to 400 yards. This is 360, so if I truly need 400, it's probably gonna be some kind of lining or something like that. So I'll just do it in another color if I run out, because I'm not buying another skein for 40 yards. Not doing it. So yeah, I kind of did all the legwork. Oh, it's telling me to use a 5mm hook. I have 3 of them because as we've previously discussed, a lot of the crochet experience is how my hook is interacting with the yarn, and if I like it or not. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna change my hook. So this is my Dollar Tree one, this is my Temu one, and this is the boy one that I got from Michael's a long time ago. Okay, it wasn't that long ago, let me stop. But this is my first crochet hook, by the way. So I can't find my Susan Bates one. It's here somewhere, but I'm sure it's stuck in some other project. So if none of these three work, if I don't like how the yarn is sliding on any of these, I'll look for that one. But if I can get away with one of these, then I'll do that. We're gonna get started. Enough of this talking. I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself set up, and we're going to make this bralette. Okay, so I've run into my first problem right here. Okay, so it says to do the foundation chain, then do double crochets, whatever. The issue is where it says row 2. So you double crochet across to the end, and the last stitch you work that increase. But the problem is it's not telling you to go on the other side of the chains. If I follow this exactly what it's saying, I work up one side of the cup, I do the increase, and then I chain 3 and then go the way that I came. So you're not working the other half of the cup. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is where I'm at. This is where the increase is. It's not telling you to go on this side and work the other half. If I follow this exactly as it's saying, I'll do this increase and I'll come back the way that I came. But I can't work an increase on this side because it says in each row work the increase. So if I'm coming this way, I can't work an increase right here because it's going to look weird. So it's like you're only really building this side of the cup plus working increases on both sides. Now, I've made cups before, so I know you need to go on the other side and like you go like this. Now, I would go with what I originally said and do exactly as it tells me to, but in this case I can't because it's not going to make the cup, and 2, I don't have enough yarn to make it the wrong way and the right way. So I'm going to frog this, and I'm going to make the cup correctly in the correct orientation, but I'm still going to follow the number of stitches and all that it says. But just letting you know. Okay, so I fixed what it said. Well, I fixed what I did, so I'm doing it on both sides now. But yeah, I'm going to just continue doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It says to do it for 12 rows or until this measures 7.5 to 8 inches. So I'm going to keep going, and I will check in with y'all after I've made both cups and we can move on to the next section. Hey everybody, today is Monday. In the background y'all can see I was already working on some yarn and stuff before I even came and sat down over here. But I wanted to show y'all the progress that I made on this bralette yesterday. I finished both of the cups. I did the exact measurements they gave. I mean, it was kind of spot on, just a little bit, just a little bit, not too much because we had that mishap. But outside of that, it's looking pretty all right. There's some coverage here. You know, I have to remember that it is a bralette, so it's not going to be like, well, I mean, I guess it could be super full coverage. Anyways, so I'm going to finish this, and then I feel like if this is not enough, I might do a little, what is it, picot, I think it's called? Picot? This one right here. I'm gonna put that around, but I mean, I think this is pretty solid. So the only thing about it though is that I would not have chosen to do this with double crochets for obvious reasons, and then I'm not really gonna know until I put it on. So we'll figure it out. So I have the next step, which is to join the cups and make like the bottom section of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stuff I was previously working on aside. I have my yarn and my hook right here. And if I work diligently enough, I could realistically finish this today. I'm going to try because I have something I have to watch later on, and it's like almost 3 hours, so I can sit, hopefully crochet through all of that. I tried last Monday and it didn't work. I got too wrapped up in what was going on. But I'm gonna try this time though. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited to see this finished. Let's go. Okay, so this is the next step of the instructions, right? Do the single crochet across, then the chains in the middle, do the same amount on the other side. So this is where I'm at so far. Yeah, 32 stitches across both cups. No, absolutely not. But I do like how it's coming out though. These are my half double crochet rows. I'm enjoying this so far. Okay, so back on the instructions. So the rib band is optional. I'm not doing that. I don't like doing ribbing. And I think, honestly, I think it's gonna look weird, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not doing that. So this is the next part of the pattern. So you attach yarn to the side of the band and then single crochet around the back opening. That's the part that I'm having issues with because none of this above told me to do anything about a back opening. So, this is aim for 50 to 60 single crochets across. I'm thinking they meant chains here. So yeah, I'm thinking that's what that's supposed to mean, is to add the yarn on the side here and then chain across to this side so that it'll make the the back part, because there is a back to this. So I'm going to assume that's what that means. But like I said before, I don't have enough yarn, and honestly I literally can't do what they're saying because it doesn't make sense. So there is a little bit of extra interpretation on here that I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to chain. I'm gonna let you know how many I chain, because I'm not going to do 60 and then I can't wear it. So I'm gonna chain however many it takes for me to get across, and I'll be back to let you know how many chains, I guess. Okay, this is probably the last update on the night for this project, but I added the mesh band. Yeah, part of this was the pattern's fault and part of this was my fault, because once I realized what I messed up on, I was not going to frog it because I didn't feel like it. So if I can, yeah, I'm going to have to weave this end to pull this out to make it go all the way across. I think it's on this side I messed up on. Yeah, that looks wonky, but like I said, that's my fault. And here's an end. Where is it at? There's a string that if I pull it, this will close. So I'm not worried about that. I just have to find it. But so I'm not worried about that. But like this right here, yeah, part of that's my fault, but then part of it's the pattern's fault because it tells you to chain 4. Like, why am I chaining 4? And then it doesn't tell you that you need to slip stitch back into this band to start the next row. So like I said, where is the, here it is. Yeah, once I pull this hole will close. But yeah, once I realized I was not frogging it to do it. Honestly, I don't even care. But I got it together on this side. But yeah, the chain 4, I don't really know what that was for. I might end up frogging this anyway because that might bother me. Now, I said to do this until it's 6 to 7 inches. I didn't do that because I didn't want to. But I just did it to the length of the band. So I'm fine with that. So now all I have left to do are the straps. Let me look at this real quick. The straps, and then just some detailing around the cup if I choose to do it. It says it's optional. So yeah, that's about it. But I'm gonna wrap this up tomorrow. I'm almost done. And of course I'm gonna do a try on to see exactly how good this pattern really is. Okay, so I finished the bralette, and as you can kind of see already, you see why I have a shirt on underneath. So here's the bralette, right? Here's the back. Okay. I'm gonna grab my chair and sit down. I'm gonna tell you the yays, the nays, and my final thoughts on this ChatGPT generated pattern. Okay, so the yays. The yays, a lot of the measurements were right. Mainly the cup. Let me bring it down a little bit. This right here covers my boob completely. Both of them, perfect. The only issue is that it's double crochet. I would have done half double, but it covered my boob. Yay. The straps yeah, I changed how much they said. The part that goes around the back, changed what they said. The measurements, a lot of them were right. Then I also liked how it gave you yarn recommendations. It gave you hook size. And then when I had to change for the size that I needed, it changed all the measurements, all the numbers, all the chains. Like it really did update the pattern for my size. And I don't know, man, I liked it a lot. The pattern was easy to follow. It wasn't really confusing. It was just a nice little experience. The pattern wasn't that long. Yeah, there's a lot of positives to this pattern, and it got me here. So now the names. Really, the only cons that I really noticed, like there were a couple of mistakes. Either like they used the wrong term, or there was information left out they didn't tell you. Like at the beginning when I showed you how it didn't tell you to go on the other side of the chain to make the cup. But you know, I knew that already, so I knew to do that. But if I didn't know how to do that, somebody's cup would look absolutely insane. Then the whole thing on the back, now, like I said, part of that was my error. But I also wanted to see what was I supposed to do with the chain for. I don't understand. You didn't need the chain 4 there, so I'm not quite sure. But then, I mean, had I done it correctly once I realized my own mistake, maybe it would have came out differently. But I think that problem would have already been there because I was chaining 4 out the gate, and I was just trying to figure out like why. So, you know, like little things like that, but nothing major. Now, the only major nay, as I just said, nothing major. There is one major nay, and it's this right here. So let me show you a little bit more. This right here, why is it 9 chains right here? That's crazy, especially when the cup goes out because it's a triangle. And there's nothing here to bridge it. Now, I mean, if I just wanted to wear it out and just know everything out, that's totally fine because these do cover my nips. So like my nips aren't out where this would be if I didn't wear a shirt. But still, like 9 chains, that's ridiculous. Like that, it needs to be like half of that. If it were even, like, see, that would be so much better if it was less. But 9 is crazy. Anyway, so, I mean, other than that, my final thoughts, this pattern is functional. If you added a couple things, you know, just like little tweaks here and there, this could be a functional pattern for somebody. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I think ChatGPT kind of did his thing a little bit, but overall, I'm not mad at it. Am I going to wear this? No, because ultimately it did not satisfy what I put in the engine. But I mean, that could have also been user error. Maybe I needed to be more clear in what I meant by a closed back, because I wanted like none of my back to be out. So I mean, maybe one day I'll go back in there and I'll try to be more clear on what I mean by a closed back, and then I can try it again and see if I can get something that I like a little bit better. But as of right now, that's the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate y'all. Feel free to subscribe. I'll be back next Friday with some more, whatever it is I decide to do. I don't know. But hopefully I'll see you here with me. And bye.